Hello. Let's go back to the view. Yeah, we just popped up here for a bit. We're not going to do our normal walk. Just going to walk down. So this is only about 3,000 steps. Yeah, we're going to see the view again. Just right up here when we clear the trees. I'm actually a bit silly for walking up here today. Tram's coming down. I can hear it. There goes the tram. It's a bit misty today. It's not really cloudy. But it's not like perfect either. Yeah, you can see today. Yeah, that's what I'm going home to do. Apparently, I just got a note from the nanny, he is not sleeping. So I've been summoned by Mommy Command, which is my wife, to go home and put him to bed. So we're making our way down the mountain. I actually came up here hoping that he would be asleep and I could take my walk. He's just got a cough. So he skipped school today. And now he's really bored. He should have gone to school given how he is, but how he was yesterday, we said, take it easy. Oh, look at those hawks flying. Can you see those birds? Yeah, it's like a dogfight. Oh. You can see like they're shooting at each other. Cool, anti-aircraft fire can now be added to Periscope. Well, that's what everybody does. I'm Penguin 6, by the way, and welcome to Hong Kong. I have not had lunch. I am going to go hike with Ying Ying probably tomorrow. I am going to set up a time when I get home. I'll probably come up here in the morning. Some sort of vulture-like creature, bird of prey of some sort. Hey Rhea, how you doing, guys? Bex Rhea is here. She's another scoper from Hong Kong if you want to see other scenes from the city. Let's get back up. Ding. And we're making our way down the mountain. Just finished. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with viewers. People have been saying something was wrong. Hey, you've agreed. No gourmet McDonald's today. The nice thing is that those thick-cut French fries are now available at all McDonald's. So this guy's got to try to figure out how to get up there. You got to turn around and back up. Plantation Road. Yeah.
Plantation Road, 52.
Probably up there.
Up there.
I think so. You go backwards, then go this way, and then up. Yeah.
Exit is this way.
Yeah, that's the way. Yeah, everybody.
This way. Out.
Yeah, you can get out that way.
Oh, that
yeah.
way. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But you have to. So back up and then back up. Yep. Sorry about that. This guy's first time he's been here. He's got to do the 4-point turn. So he's got to turn around and then back up. Oh, here comes the tram. There's the Pika tram. I can't drive one of those trucks. I think I'm going to eat at home today. So now he turns the truck around, and then he has to reverse down there and go up. It's kind of complicated. It's like it's too. He came out and he looked at the U-turn. He's like, "What?" So now he'll back his truck up. I really hope the street, the one he's going to, is up there. It's not a dead end. It's a U-turn sort of thing. Oh, you saw Totoro. That's cool. My neighbor Totoro. There was an example, though. You know, his English, he could understand what I was saying. I could kind of understand what he was saying. I mean, his English wasn't fluent. You know, I'm not going to have a discussion with him about, you know, the Enlightenment or something like that. But sure, could talk to him enough. A lot of people say I'm Ray Romano. I've never actually seen that show, though. That's right. My kids have. I think my kids actually picked a name. I just haven't tweeted it out. I have to check with Parker when I get home, because he was in charge of that. He usually just picks by icons. We're giving away my neighbor Totoro puppet. I should just buy a bunch of those next time and just give them away all the time. I have to sell them. Many people sort of want them. Wish you. We'll see. Yeah. It's going to be a big house. It's after lunch. It's 1:30. My youngest is supposed to be napping, but I don't think he wants to. It could be. I'm on Barker Road, B-A-R-K-E-R Road, number 41 Barker Road right now. Very peaceful up here. This is a pretty high-end neighborhood. The rent there is about $15,000 US a month for about 1,500 square feet, 1,600 square feet. He was on Xbox earlier today. Lunch today was going to be Yoshinoya, and the line was really long, so then it was going to be noodles, and then the phone rang, and the wife has said, "Get home." And I'm like, "I want to go for a lunch." She's like, "Get home, time to put the kid to bed." Why so much money? Because there's just not enough land in Hong Kong, and not enough houses, and too much demand. The average rent at my son's international school for the families that go there is about $12,000 US a month. I pay considerably less than $12,000 US a month. Yes, $15,000 US. My son's international school, the average family is spending about 12. My son's best friend, their family spends about 31,000 US dollars a month. They have like 2,600 square feet, which is humongous in Hong Kong. Oh, they charge what they can. I have no idea how the community is. I don't think it's very large. The city is very socially conservative, so they don't have any legal rights like they do in some of the West. 31,000 is actually next door to my house, but it's a very big building. Dang. Oh, it's there. It's not that secret. I mean, I've walked into a gay bar a few times. Like, what? Why are all dudes here? And then the other one's like, "Hey, look at this bar. It's filled with women." And like, they don't like you though. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So there are a few places, but there's no gay marriage, and I don't think there's likely to be gay marriage anytime soon. The prices can be a bit insane. I pay about $8 for a gallon of gas, about $14 for a gallon of milk, $9 for a box of Cheerios, about $6 for some salad dressing. But McDonald's is about the same price. So we're coming up to the $193 million house, the house that cost $193 million US dollars. That's 1.5 billion Hong Kong. Yeah, public transportation is very cheap, healthcare is free, and about 50% of the people live in subsidized housing, government housing. So I was actually, why I'm so late today, I stayed up last night to watch the Arsenal play like the Arsenal and surrender points like the Arsenal, because it was just frustrating. You know, not necessarily salaries. This is a big truck. It isn't worth it. It's too painful. So this is the $193 million house. The salaries aren't higher, but you get a secondary package. You get a cost of living payment to pay for the housing. Yeah, it was really frustrating to watch Arsenal have 80% of the possession and 80% of the shots and still tie. Never been to Beyonce's house. You know, she keeps calling me saying, why don't you come on over? And I keep saying, next time. This is Jack Ma's house, the founder of Alibaba.com. Whoa, got attacked by a butterfly. So what does $193 million buy you? This view, complete with bird. Yeah, 3 wins, it's been awful. The Gini coefficient of economic inequality is highest here in the developed world. We're actually on Latin American places. The rich are very, very rich. The poor are very poor. This is the house, 10,000 square feet, and it's 193 million. This place right here is 2,000 square feet for 20 to 24 million as a condo. Same awesome view. This was the Belgian Consulate General's house, and then he sold it for about 15 million US dollars about 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And that guy's turned around and flipped it for 193 million. Not bad. Shamshai-Po is quite cheap, but still, you'd be amazed what a half a million US dollar apartment in Shamshai-Po or some other New Territory area is still not exactly the greatest place in the world. It's not smog. It's been very cloudy. We're in the rainy seasons right now, so we've got a lot of rain and a lot of mist. Lunch today is whatever the nanny's got left over at home, so I'm going to eat dinner at home. Honestly, it's probably going to be shepherd's pie. I'm just going to go home and nuke a Marks and Spencer shepherd's pie, because I was going to go to lunch, and I got a call from the wife saying, go home and take care of the kid. The kid's not sleeping. It's cooler today, so the humidity isn't as oppressive as it was last week, but it is very humid. There's a car again. I got to step over on the shoulder here. Hi. So when you buy a $193 million house, you can't really pick your neighbors. So the riffraff here, this place was 100 million US, and then the place next to it is 70 million. And then they've got some like Section 8 people or something renting for 65,000 US dollars. 65,000 US a month to get that 6-bedroom place. My phone was turned off because my son was playing with my phone earlier today, and he made a YouTube video. So we turned on the Do Not Disturb, and the phone wasn't ringing. Hey, how's it going? And so we got all these messages through the nanny and the wife saying, go home. The young one is not sleeping. Of course, if I go home, he's going to be like, Daddy! And then he's not going to sleep at all. That's why I go out. But anyway, can't sleep, you have school. Don't go to school. Take the day off. I'll give you permission. But you'll have to play Minecraft instead or something. Yeah, he's definitely not going to go to sleep when I get there. He's going to be like, let's play Legos. If you look at my Instagram, a couple days ago, we decided to have a lightsaber duel just before bedtime. That was the first and last time we'll have a lightsaber duel before bedtime, because he was wired for about 20, 30 minutes after that. My son, my youngest is 7, my oldest is 9. Yeah, my Instagram, Penguin6. Also, Facebook.com, Penguin6. I actually shot a bunch of 4K video up here the other day. I'm going to go play with that. Yeah, there are truancy laws here. You know, I just discovered, though, another little factoid. It's against the drinking age is 18. So if you go to a bar or a restaurant, you have to be 18 to consume alcohol. But there's no limit on grocery stores and 7-Eleven selling liquor. So they did a thing where a bunch of 10-year-old kids went, and guess what? At the majority of places, they were able to buy alcohol. 10-year-old kids. In fact, a 14-year-old kid was able to buy alcohol at every convenience store he went to. A different username. Oh, okay. Now we got to go down the jungle, and this is going to be slipperier. This is going to be really slippery. Yeah, it was. So they're thinking about changing the law around. It's actually got a nickname. Everybody calls it Club 7-Eleven, and that's where you go to get beer. Your pre-pub beers, because Club 7-Eleven is a lot cheaper than the bars. I am in central Hong Kong. This is just below Barker Road, making our way down to May Road. George Digby Barker was the British general in charge of all Asian forces for the Majesty, Queen Victoria, and one of his top assistants was a man named Mr. Barker. And Barker later went on to become the Governor General of Hong Kong. And May was the governor of Hong Kong. And Barker's daughter, Helena, married May, and it's sort of this path should be named after her. God, this is slippery as snot today. But you're in central Hong Kong on the peak, making our way down to the mid-levels where I live. And I came up to the peak to do a morning hike, and was interrupted by my wife telling me to go home and take care of my son who's homesick today. Yeah, she's just a girl. She has a building down in central Hong Kong called the Helena May Center for Women or something like that. 75% of Hong Kong is jungle and mountain. Only 25% of the city has been developed, so it's very easy to escape. Oh, sure, check out my wish list, yeah. Jackie Chan is famous, but he's not actually that well liked over here. He is regarded as a pro-Beijing and has made disparaging comments about the people of Hong Kong. A lot of people in Hong Kong think he's kind of a jerk. You get a lot of weird birds here. There's a lot of non-native birds here. When the Japanese invaded Hong Kong in 1941, the British governor ordered that the zoo and the botanical gardens and his own private bird collection be released into the wild so as to escape the Japanese troops, turning them into lunch. So there's a lot of like parrots and cockatoos and all sorts of other weird birds flying in here in the jungle. Oh, coming in June, that'd be cool. A little bit warm, but still a fun place to visit. I'll be in Europe this summer. It can upset the balance, that's true. But back in the 1941, with Japanese troops approaching, that was the last thing they cared. Any places you should visit? You should visit the Peak, where I've just been up looking at the city. You should take a ride on the Star Ferry, and you should check out Mongkok at night. Go into Mongkok or Sham Shai Po. Well, let's see this. You could go down to the south side of Hong Kong, Stanley, little village with a touristy market and some places to eat along the waterfront. Lantau is a bit of a hike. You can go out there. Lama is also kind of interesting. It's more of a traditional fishing places, but I don't have any really good restaurant recommendations on Lama. Sai Kung is okay. Sai Kung is getting gentrified, so it's losing some of its old fishing roots. The Garden View Hotel is a pretty cheap hotel right next to the zoo. Believe it or not, the YMCA in TST has one of the best views of Hong Kong for really cheap prices. The Buddha is fun, but you climb up all these steps, you're like, okay, we're at the Buddha, and then you're like, now what? And you're like, oh, we go home. You're like, okay. Gentrify. Hey, how's it going? Tayo is fun to visit, especially if you take a little boat ride to see the dolphins. North Point. A lot of hotels there cater to mainland Chinese tourists. I don't really know which ones are good. The street sweepers haven't come down today. This sidewalk is covered in leaves. Thankfully no snakes yet. So these tourists are walking up to the peak. You can see their faces kind of like, oh God, are we there? one. I'm sorry, do I miss things? Something like that. I didn't get the whole comment. Hey, Qatar. Do I miss things? I miss certain things about the USA, but I don't miss everything, that's for sure. I'm pretty happy here. I'm going to go edit a video up later for my YouTube channel, Penguin 6. I live in China. Do I love living in China? I love certain things here. Sometimes, though, there are things that rub me the wrong way, like the cost of living and the air pollution. I do miss having a yard. Yeah, let the kids go out and play in the backyard. Growing up in an apartment building, I worry about them. Little pixelated. Yep, here's the view of the city. We just got halfway down this little hike, and you're now of a view of central Hong Kong. We'll get a few more views as we make our way down this. You're back. So one of my wish list items was I wanted a way to scroll the comments back that I might have missed. Oh, there's lots of foreigners working here, lots of job opportunities, but usually, I hope he's sleeping. It has been raining all day, but it's not raining now. Most of the jobs are in the industry of finance, marketing, middle management type jobs. I write tech, I work in tech. What's coming? Hopefully. Does Periscope headquarters know about future updates? Do they know about my wish list? Yes. I actually was contacted by some Periscope developers after I wrote my wish list. Hey, ni hao, zidao. I don't read characters, sorry. Actually, today I'm wearing khakis. It's a little bit chilly today. It's like 20 Celsius. It's like high 60s. It's like 70, but I am wearing short sleeves today. I'm actually wearing HKFA, Hong Kong. This is the official Hong Kong football kit, the Hong Kong national team. And I am wearing it today because yesterday, Sunday, the nanny was off and she didn't finish the laundry. I do have the dad khakis. Jonathan J.K. has lots of secrets. I don't know how many of them are true. I'm sure it's much cooler in England, yes. I was watching the match yesterday. There were a lot of people wearing scarves and whatnot, and I was like, yeah, it's still cold there. Oh, 75% of the city is empty. I mean, it's undeveloped mountains and stuff. It's not like Great Plains. It's not like there's a lot of fields. It's mostly mountains and jungles that are undeveloped. It's extremely safe. This is one of the safest cities in the world. Foreigner salary depends on the industry. I have seen snakes. Periscope, they're aware of all the glitches. The thing that a lot of people don't realize is that Periscope is just a small team, 40 guys, 40 men and women. Whereas, of course, Twitter is 40,000 or however many employees Twitter has, 14,000 or something like that. Periscope is its own independent unit. So when Periscope breaks, it's those 40 people that got to fix it. It's not the massive resources of Twitter to fix. It's this small office in San Francisco. In fact, you know, they've got little beepers basically. If the server goes down, they got to like rush into the office and start it. Slide left, tap my profile, and you'll see an option to follow me. Or just tap that number there, the user number, and you should see it. They did buy them, but they operate as a separate entity, separate offices. So basically they are a self-contained unit. Now that's not to say they don't get to talk to the guys at Twitter's. I haven't met Kayvon actually, but I've seen him speak a lot. He's definitely got a vision for what he wants to do. Should be pretty interesting. I met his co-founder, his technical co-founder. It's pretty cool. They are doing well for a team. They were a team of 12 when you first started using Periscope. There were only about 12 to 20 or so. No, this is not a park. This is the Central Green Trail, Chatham Path, that runs between two roads. It's just the jungle. This is just what Hong Kong is. Yeah, they only talk 140. I'll give you an example. When I was there, a data scientist from Twitter was visiting, who was like one of the top guys in the world for, you know, big data mining type stuff. I mean, like, you know, really high-level stuff. And he came over for a cocktail party at there, and 2 or 3 of the techies were having a very complicated discussion with him, and he was giving them some amazing insight. So, yeah, they can call on some of the most technically advanced big data, social networking people there. How long will I be in Hong Kong? Oh, in a couple of years. I don't know. I've been here 6. No plans to leave anytime soon. This path connects Barker Road, where I just was up on the peak. It goes all the way down into central Hong Kong if I felt like walking it. I like the interface of Periscope better than Facebook. I do live and work here. I have a wife and 2 kids here. This is my home. I do all the same things every day that you do. I just do it in a different city. But I'm going home to take care of my son who's homesick, and then I'll go get some groceries later and other stuff. I miss some of your messages. It's hard to catch all the messages sometimes when I'm walking because I don't want to step on a snake, especially when it's really wet and the snakes come out. Yeah. I've never stepped on a snake. I've come close about 3 times. I speak English and a tiny little bit of Mandarin. It's a very expensive city to live in. It's not that expensive to visit, but to live in can be extraordinarily expensive if you want to live like a Westerner, with Western imported food, international schools, travel overseas, living in a modern apartment building, etc. I speak English. They speak English here too. English is the official language of Hong Kong, as is Chinese. So pretty much everyone speaks English. To become a citizen of Hong Kong means you're a citizen of China. And to become a citizen of China, you have to be related to someone who is ethnically Chinese, basically. It's kind of racially based. You have to be Chinese. I think you can marry into it, but that's about it. It's not a very easy system. Well, now I can become a permanent resident of Hong Kong by living here 7 years. But if I wanted a passport, I need to have some sort of connection. I'm from Washington, D.C., but I grew up in Illinois. I write iPhone apps occasionally, and I do some legal consulting, but most of the time I'm a dad. Being a dad is a lot more fun. Does Kayvon fix the glitches of the engineers? I don't know if Kayvon does many of the glitch fixing. I know he's got some really talented engineers that it's one of those things where, he's so busy with other stuff, it would take him probably 4 hours to fix a glitch that the other guys can do in 2 or something, There are some locals who would like to separate from the mainland. Here comes a death bus. These are little mini buses, very low price, like 25, 30 cents to ride. But they drive like maniacs. I call them a death bus. So this is my neighborhood, Mid-Level Central. Let's cross the street before this guy hits me. I could continue down into Central on this path. My wife is from China, but she grew up in Illinois. I have 2 different pairs of the exact same shoe. These are Asus gels. They're tennis shoes. I wear them because they have a very wide toe, and I feel very comfortable. I have 2 pairs because I wear size 12 shoes, and they're very difficult to get size 12s in Hong Kong. So when I go to the United States, I usually buy 2 of everything. So I alternate. I've been wearing the other pair a couple days because they were rain shoes. We met at the University of Notre Dame. I have an iPhone 6S on an LTE connection. The towers are just over on top of these buildings, so I'm never more than, say, 500 meters from a cell phone tower. So we do usually get a pretty good signal, though it is lunchtime, and there's a lot of competition for bandwidth with all the people going out to lunch. Flight time to Hong Kong depends where you're coming from, of course, but from the west coast of the United States, about 12 hours. East coast, about 14 to 16 hours. Also depends on the wind. There's just LTE here. Hard to find deodorant. Yeah, we met at Notre Dame. Lunch today is going to be at home. We have a 50-year transition period. We have 37 years left, or 33. I'm in Mid-Level Central. There's a Mid-Levels East, Mid-Levels West, and Mid-Levels Central. It depends on the wind and the route. Sometimes you go farther north to avoid the winds. Sometimes you do. No, I haven't been to Turkey, though. We actually were going to go to Turkey, and then there was like a bombing or something, and our trip got canceled by our employer. But my wife's company has an office in Turkey, or Istanbul, so They have talked about, would you like to relocate to Istanbul? And we're like, no, not at this time. We're pretty happy here. I'm here for love. I met the right girl. Tyler, I know Tyler. He has been on my scopes a few times. We do communicate by email every now and then. Sometimes I see some scopes, especially in, well, if there's like an incident. Yes, I do have family in the U.S., like the bombings in Paris or something, or some other crazy thing, and I'm awake, but the Periscope headquarters is asleep. I'll send an email to those guys saying, hey, by the way, you have this late-breaking incident. You've got some really great periscopes going on while you guys are asleep. So when they wake up, they say, oh, there's been an explosion in Belgium, and they get an email, and I've made a couple recommendations to them, and then they go out and check some other people and say, oh, this is cool, and maybe somebody gets featured. No, I doubt I get no commission. It's like Manhattan a lot, except Manhattan only has about 65,000 people per square mile, and Hong Kong is 85,000 people. Not that much influence. Just trying to keep the community going. I watched a couple scopes. One was a French guy who was actually cowering behind a car as they were shooting at him. That was pretty insane. And then I watched some of the Belgian periscopes during that attack. Yeah, Remy. I think it was Remy. I think I shared that. And then I watched Chantel and Euromaestro. What's the speed limit? I don't even know. There's that death bus. He looped around. So I kind of want some potato chips. So we're going to go over to the grocery store. I live right there. That's my building. And the grocery store is right here. I tell you guys, living across from a grocery store is the greatest thing you can ever do in your life. In fact, when we move back to the United States, if we ever do, we're going to have a grocery store like across the street. I'm going to get a bag of chips. It'll be about $2.50 to $3 US. Depends on the size. It's not that big. I'll show you. Hopefully we can keep the signal going. I'm from Washington, D.C., but I grew up in Illinois. I haven't heard of Pivot Heads. Oh, hi. So this box is $3. This box is $10 US. $10. Eggs. Ooh, this milk's on sale. $3 US. This one is $8 US because it's imported from overseas. Oh, we're losing our signal, aren't we? Chips, chips, chips. No, they don't have the ones I want. $1.20. These are English chips. These are $6 US. $1.50. I don't have any chips I want. This bag of chips is $1.20 US. Imported from the US, yeah. Get some candy maybe. I really want some candy. No, no candy. Alright, we're not getting chips. We don't have one out. Yeah, lots of American cereals, Cheerios, Rice Krispies. Yeah, the store is a signal sucker. I wanted I wanted baked salt and vinegar or baked chips. They didn't have any baked chips. Bummer. Now the Rice Krispies are actually made locally, but they taste pretty much the same as Rice Krispies from America. The Cheerios are imported. They don't have local Cheerios. Hong Kong is very safe. We have about 22 murders a year in a city of 7.2 million people. So 22 murders for 7.2 million. We have one of the lowest crime rates in the world. It's extremely safe walking home at night. Nobody really worries about that. more worried about snakes than I am criminals. I was ready for chips too, but no such luck. Anyway, guys, it's time for me to go inside. Time to go see my son. Morning. I'm Penguin 6, by the way. I hike around Hong Kong, so feel free to slide left, slide up, tap my profile, and follow me. You'll get a view of the city every day. And we're going to cut in.